silence of mediocrity to disperse expansive, game-changing marketing wisdom. This is the Jeff Payne Show.
Reaching for a higher place than we can reach alone. Get up, get in, it's time to win. This is a Jeff Payne
Show. A journalist sits across from the CEO of the most valuable company in the world and ask him the question every competitor once answered 50 years in. Nobody has managed to copy Apple. Why not? Hi, I'm Jeff Payne. You're listening to The Jeff Payne Show, episode number 52, The Answer Nobody Wants.
And now, our feature presentation.
If you run a business, some version of that question keeps you up. Not, what's my competitor doing? You already know that. It's why haven't they caught up yet? What are they missing? Tim Cook had 30 seconds to answer that question on national television. What he said wasn't a strategy. It might be more useful than one. Here's the assumption. Almost every business owner makes about a competitor who's pulling ahead. There's a tactic, a tool, a hire they made that you haven't made yet. Something specific and findable. And if you found it, you could close the gap. That assumption isn't crazy. Sometimes it's true. But it's also the reason so many people spend years chasing the wrong thing, reverse engineering a competitor's funnel, copying their content calendar, hiring away their star employee, and never close the gap at all. Cook was asked directly, why in 50 years no rival has managed to replicate Apple? Samsung started as a dried fish exporter. Nokia made paper. Both became giants, but neither one became Apple. Why? Cook's answer had two parts, and neither one of them is a tactic. The first part, it's people who create the intellectual property. The patents matter, but they're downstream of who's in the room. The second part, and this is the one we're sitting with, culture is nearly impossible to copy quickly because you must hire the right people, and then those people must hire the right people. And that must survive years of the business changing, the market changing, the technology changing underneath it, without the principles getting diluted along the way. That's not a hack. It's not ownable in a quarter. It's the compounding of 100 small hiring decisions made correctly, in sequence, over a long enough time that a competitor can't buy their way past it. And it explains something else Cook talked about in the same interview. The discipline underneath the culture. Jobs' idea of focus wasn't about doing more things well. It was saying no to 1,000 things to say yes to the one that mattered. And when you did the one thing, the bar wasn't good. Good wasn't good enough. It had to be, in his word, insanely great. Put those together and you get the actual mechanic. The moat isn't the principles themselves. Anyone can write down focus and excellence on a wall. The moat is that the culture keeps enforcing them once the founder isn't in the room anymore. This isn't a climb you have to take on faith. Apple's own numbers make the case. When Tim Cook joined in 1998, the company was weak from running out of cash. Revenue was collapsing. Since he took over as CEO, the stock is up 1,600%. And Apple went from nearly bankrupt to the most valuable company on earth. Run for the last 15 years by someone who was explicitly told not to copy the founder, but to keep the principles. That's the part that should stand out. The company didn't survive by the founder's absence by freezing his playbook in place. It survived by keeping the culture that could keep making the calls he would have made without him there to make them. So here's the self-audit. Pick one principle your business runs on, not one that's left on a slide somewhere, one that's real. Now ask, if you were out of the room for a year, would your team still enforce it? Would the next hire still get held to it? If the honest answer is only because I'm watching, you don't have a culture yet. You have a habit that depends on you personally. Those are different things, and only one of them survived you. Nobody's copied Apple in 50 years, and it was never because the principles were secret. Cook just told a national television audience exactly what they are. The reason it's still not copyable is that living them, especially when it's inconvenient, is the actual moat. It's worth asking, which of your principles would still hold up without you in the room? Hey, thanks for listening. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to The Jeff Payne Show.
Find the complete archives of all episodes at jeffpayne.net or subscribe for free at Apple Podcasts and never miss an episode.
This program is copyrighted by Jeff Payne Incorporated. All rights reserved.
Each week we bring you a message of inspiration and hope, remembering that true hope is available to all through Jesus Christ.